It is my pleasure to present our graduate speaker, Liliana Morales. Good evening.
Good evening.
Everybody. Welcome to the pinning ceremony of the most phenomenal class of nursing students that by far I'm sure has graduated CCM. Maybe a little biased considering I'm one of the finest, but I just want to make sure you guys know I'm being completely honest with you when I'm speaking right now. First and foremost, on behalf of my classmates and myself, we would like to thank you, our family and our friends, for all of your support, for your encouragement, your patience throughout this journey. Thank you for your sacrifice and for your dedication to help provide all of our needs along the way, for encouraging us and your understanding of the intensity and the demand of this nursing school endeavor, and for supporting us 100%. For putting up with us, self-diagnosing ourselves with whatever it was we have learned. You know what I mean, we're a little bit of a hypochondriac type group. Oh, and thanks for talking us out of those crazy thoughts too. But really, thank you so much for letting us use you as our guinea pigs, as our patients. You know, to listen to your lungs and your heart rate and your breath sounds. Although at the time, we really didn't know the difference. But now we do. We still appreciate the great inspirations and explorations that you guys gave us. Did you ever wonder why the long, awkward pauses and stares we would give you on a daily basis? I mean, it wasn't due to the lack of sleep for sure. Maybe, but we're probably analyzing you from head to toe, you know, from some new skills assessment that we got and we thought were really cool. But really, we're just practicing, and we thank you for that. For all this and all the unspoken, thank you. We are forever indebted and take comfort in knowing we have made you proud. To the staff, the faculty, staff, and administration, on behalf of your phenomenal class, we'd like to thank you for all of your knowledge, your dedication, your guidance, and your patience in between. Specifically for, considering we're the night program, those late nights of deliberation and review on exam days so they could post our scores in a timely manner, and to release those students from the anxiety and melodic sounds of the mouse clicking. Refresh, so we can see our grades. Thank you, really. We really learned everything from you. We are very grateful for all the professors, all of you. We are very privileged and honored to be taught by you, and we learn from everything. We also are probably one of the few classes that had the privilege of having Professor Maraska, not only in Nursing 1 as a professor, as a team professor, but also in Nursing 4 as a colloquium instructor, as well as our chairperson, and we are very honored and thank you. To my phenomenal classmates, we encourage one another through it all. We saw each other at our best of times, at our worst of times, even our worst of appearances. I mean, after lack of sleep and intense semester made our judgment in fashion, diet, exercise, and general life a bit questionable. We helped each other pull through not only the challenges of studies, but also the challenges of life. I know we established some lifelong friendships along the journey and created some amazing survival stories. Oh, and of course the nursing bloopers, but I won't share them here because it's only funny amongst us. But we we all managed to balance each other out and keep our sanity throughout the process. And we truly are phenomenal. I wasn't lying to them, right? For some of us, our journey began with the inspiration of our families, our friends, and ancestors. For some of us, life experiences led us here. Although we all shared different sources of inspiration and motivation, our paths crossed here. My path and motivation and inspiration came from my family, from my life experiences, most importantly from my faith. Despite not knowing what to expect or how I would do it, I chose to walk by faith, knowing that grace and mercy would suffice, and of course being part of a phenomenal class. I remember in the beginning of nursing when we first started, I didn't know anyone. All I knew was that I had gotten into a nursing program, a very well-known nursing program, a very challenging program, known as Harvard on the Hill. Need I say more? The program was unique in that it provided many of us the opportunity to maintain as best as possible our full-time jobs and a full-time life. Or so we thought. In the defense of our professors, we were advised to cut back, also known as quit your job, your life, and everything in between. They knew the dedication it would take and the time needed to successfully pass. That's all. They were just trying to help us out. Easier said than done, right? But we did it. It didn't take long before I heard the term also C equals RN. Now, C equals RN is a term that's used within the program because you need a 70 or C to pass, but since you're our family, you all knew that. We try to explain this to you time and time again and do the mathematical equations to figure out what we need to get next on the exam. Just saying, maybe you have an idea. Well, it didn't take long before I had heard the term for me to figure it out. It takes me once or twice or three times, but eventually I had my aha moment. This time it was after receiving my first Nursing 1 exam score. The words were not aha, but it sure clicked in my head. I knew what the C in C equals RN stood for. I know there are the exceptional one or two students that have no idea what I'm talking about, but I think, and that I'm okay with that, but I'm very grateful, and I think that most of my classmates share the same sentiment of the C equals RN phenomenon that existed here. As a result, this became part of our mantra, my mantra, C equals RN, C equals RN, C equals RN. Every test, every study, everything was C equals RN. Just kept going on. Whenever I would achieve that C successfully, I would share sometimes with some of my classmates, myself, more than once. I would say, congratulations, you're still in the running to becoming America's next top RN. That was my motivation, and I would tell them sometimes. It was rough for all of us. There wasn't always a victory. So to be broken down after studying so hard and to sacrifice so much, often it just didn't seem to be enough. That C wasn't a reality all the time. I remember one time I was so discouraged that after drawing on my faith as I do normally, it just didn't seem like it was enough to push through. So I looked to my best friend for some words of encouragement. Now, I'm one of those. The crazy ones that thought it would be a great idea to get married in between semesters. It was a brilliant idea to marry my best friend. However, let's just say wedding planning notes got mixed in with some labor and delivery, psych, and pediatric notes in nursing 3. One too many times. I didn't think it was the healthiest of mixes when you're equating the stages of labor to a relationship and wedding planning, but we made it through. Truthfully, it was my husband's words that not only helped me push through, but also that led me to delve into the mantra of C equals RN a little bit more. As some of you may know, and I have shared, my husband is a warrior. I did this fine before. A cancer survivor. So often the man knew what he was talking about when it came to health and experiences. His perspective and experiences served as a basis of motivation for me in a moment when my discouragement was just too much. I really couldn't just make sense of how come I couldn't study enough to get the C. And he looked at me and said, not once throughout my treatments, my surgeries, and my hospital stays did I ever ask any of my nurses their GPA. What was their GPA in school? But I can always remember the ones that really cared and took that extra step to make sure they never lost the human in me, the man behind the cancer. He was absolutely right. The truth is, we knew and we remember the ones that stood out and made a difference during his care. Not only does this comment motivate me, but it also made me delve deeper into the meaning of C equals RN and the equation of it. C equals RN for commitment, courage, compassion, and a calling. A commitment, a pledge, and a promise to the profession of nursing and our patients and our families that we're taking tonight in our pinning ceremony. We're committed to providing that care for our patients, every single one of them. Courage. I heard courage defined once as grace under fire. That's exactly what it is. Despite the severity or the acuity of the situations that we saw throughout nursing school and we see throughout our lives and we will see from now on, we will have to have the courage to make sure we can take care of our patient and use those awesome skills for them. Compassion. It's all about taking that extra step, not forgetting that human being behind the illness. Doing everything we can to make sure they know that we're there for them. It's definitely a calling. It's a gift. It's truly a special person to have all the characteristics needed to make that difference. It's not something we can learn, but it's something that's within each and every single one of us. And I know because I've spent so much time with all of you. C equals RN. I knew I forgot one. It's because we're crazy. It takes a special person to get excited over milestones, such as regular and active bowel patterns. It really does. In closing, I am grateful that we are all able to fulfill our calling. And I know we will all successfully complete the RN to our equation by passing our boards. Not because we want lunch or breakfast, but because we are phenomenal and that's what we do, so we will all pass our boards. I hope that we never forget the compassion, the commitment, the courage, and the calling of what it means to be a nurse. May we never forget what an honor it is to serve someone in a moment of need and healing. Never forget our inspirations and our motivations that led us to this moment, and also that helped us along the way. Most importantly, please, never lose the human being behind the illness. Thank you, congratulations, and God bless.
At this time, candidates will be presented by Nursing Lab Coordinator Louis Kerpo. Pins will be awarded by Professor Monica Maraska and Assistant Chairperson Professor Suzanne Gilmore.